Good morning, everyone. I'm back. This is Nicole Ali, and I'm in Los Angeles right now, myself in the West Hollywood area. But I saw on CNN.com they have a story about the California mudslides here. So, for a little background, if you've been living under a rock, um, you know that we had issues with wildfires, quote unquote, earlier this year, or excuse me, earlier last year. What was that, around December and right around Christmas? Devastating wildfires in the Southern California area, which is like Santa Barbara, Montecito, Carpintero, I forget how to pronounce that, Ventura, even in San Bernardino, there were some wildfires there. We had issues all around. So as a result of the wildfires, the brush, the debris, the foliage on the ground has been burned, so there's really nothing to hold back any water in the case of mudslides. And we've had mudslides. It's been raining. It's not raining right now, but it was raining for past couple of days really hard. And I saw a report that said in the area of Montecito there was 5 centimeters of rain in 5 minutes, which is over the flood threshold, indicating that you'll have intense mudslides. And so on this article, it says Southern California mudslides, 100 still await rescue, 15 are dead. And this was reported, updated 10:42 Eastern Standard Time today, January 10th. So there's a video here. I'm gonna play that, and we'll see what they had to say here.
Oh my God, this is 101 North. It is 100% covered in mud. Never seen anything like this.
So that's from CNN, and I think that's for another story. So I'll leave the link in the description box, and then you can go ahead and look that up later and look at all these other videos that they have. They have a lot of different highlights and from a lot of other natural disasters, including this one. But they had story highlights. So one highlight is that the debris blocks 300 people from leaving Romero Canyon area of Montecito. Once again, that's north of Los Angeles near Santa Barbara. And another quote they have was, "It was literally a carpet of mud and debris everywhere," officials says. CNN reports a day after mudslides crushed several Southern California homes and left at least 15 people dead, rescuers faced a difficult task Wednesday as hundreds of people remain cut off by debris in one neighborhood and others are still missing, officials said. Heavy rains early Tuesday caused rivers of mud and debris to run down from hillsides in Santa Barbara County, demolishing homes in the seaside community of Montecito. The rainfall came just weeks after a massive wildfire stripped the landscape of vegetation that might have made the area more flood resistant. On Wednesday morning, 300 people were trapped in the Romero Canyon area of Montecito because debris was blocking their way out of the neighborhood, Santa Barbara County spokeswoman Janaris Muniz said. Quote, "We can't get to them and they can't get to us. Once we have daybreak, you will see helicopters start rescuing people there," Muniz said. And this is a picture of the road. Looks like some debris on the side of the road. Maybe these people are trying to rescue anyone who's trapped or stranded. Let's see. This was in Burbank, California, which is I think in San Fernando Valley area. The latest developments show the deadly storm. The 15 deaths were reported in Santa Barbara County, authorities said. More missing. Muniz said it's unclear how many people are missing, but searches are ongoing. Earlier, officials said at least 24 people were unaccounted for. Hundreds of calls. As the storm hit hard between 3 and 6 a.m. Tuesday, Sheriff's Office dispatchers handled more than 600 phone calls for assistance. Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown said. Road closed. US 101 in parts of Montecito and Santa Barbara will remain closed for at least 48 hours because of the muddy debris covering it, authorities said Tuesday. Intense rain. By Tuesday, more than 5.5 inches of rain had fallen in parts of Ventura County over 2 days, the National Weather Service said. In Carpinteria, that was the city I was trying to pronounce earlier, Carpinteria, nearly 1 inch fell in 15 minutes, the agency said. So that's way over the threshold of it. I think it's supposed to be like half an inch in 30 minutes or something like that. So if you have that actual measurement, please let me know if I'm wrong. Quote, River of Mud. Thomas Teague, I think it's pronounced, told CNN affiliate KCAL, which is affiliate out of LA, he was outside his Montecito home and heard, quote, a deep rumbling, an ominous sound I knew was boulders moving as the mud was rising. He saw 2 cars moving sideways down the middle of the street, quote, in a river of mud. Peter Hartman said the destruction was everywhere. Quote, there were gas mains that had popped where you could hear the hissing, end quote, he's told the TV station. Quote, power lines were down. High voltage power lines. The large aluminum poles to hold those were snapped in half. Water was flowing out of water mains and sheared off fire hydrants, end quote. Before the storm hit, Santa Barbara issued mandatory evacuations for 7,000 people, including in parts of Carpinteria, Montecito, and Goleta, which are below areas scorched by wildfires, county spokeswoman Gina De Pinto said. Quote, while some residents cooperated with the evacuations, many did not. Many chose to stay in place, said Brown, the sheriff. Sheriff deputies spent Monday conducting door-to-door evacuations for 7,000 people in a mandatory evacuation area. But the area where homes were destroyed, south of Highway 192, was not in a mandatory evacuation zone. And so here are more pictures of the mudslides. And this is from the air unit from their helicopters. And this is a tweet from Ventura County Air Unit, VC Air Unit. View from the air at Montecito, areas that had been roadways, driveways, and homes are now unrecognizable due to the large amount of mud and debris flows. So you can see how devastating it is just looking at these pictures. The mud is just moving, rocks, boulders are moving as well. Rescue personnel still have areas to search, Brown said. Quote, it was literally a carpet of mud and debris everywhere. The huge boulders, rocks, downed trees, power lines, wrecked cars. Lots of obstacles and challenges for rescue personnel to get to homes, end quote, Brown said. Mud came in an instant. Ben Hyatt said a river of mud crashed through a neighbor's house in Montecito, the affluent community of about 8,000 east of Santa Barbara. So this is more inland than Santa Barbara is, because Santa Barbara is near the Pacific coast. Apparently, one of their cars ended up in their backyard. We have neighbors at the top of the street that evacuated to their roof, Hyatt said. Hyatt said his Montecito house was surrounded by mud and a washing machine had drifted into his front yard. So this is, you can tell how powerful the water is, the storm is, because you know how heavy a washing machine is, and for it to drift into your front yard like you dropping a ball in a pool, it's showing you how much water fell within a couple of days. Um, Mud came in an instant like a dam breaking. It surrounded the house 2 to 3 feet, he said. The debris also shut down parts of the Oceanside US 101, a major thoroughfare connecting northern and southern California. A stew of floodwater, mud, tree limbs, and other debris covered the highway in Montecito, making it impassable. Some cars were left on the highway, mired wheel deep in the muck. And then here's another video. Let's see if it will play. So this is a video of the mudslides, the water near a bridge. There's a car stuck in the mud. So that's the end. It's a quick 30-second clip of this. That was the US 101 at the Olive Mill Road overpass, flooded with runoff water from Montecito Creek. Okay, that was yesterday, January 9th. As workers clear debris to make areas accessible, more damage is revealed. Along Montecito's Coast Village Road, the mudslide overturned trees and covered the pavement. At one point, a car appeared to be sheared in half, its front half pointed skyward, jammed against a pile of muddy wreckage. Here's a picture of that. So it says the remains of a car are jammed against the muddy debris Tuesday in Montecito in Santa Barbara County. And more than 1 inch of rain per hour. And if you were driving here in LA or the surrounding areas with all this rain, I was driving last night going home. That's a fair statement to make, that there was more than 1 inch of rain per hour, because people were jackknifed, people had wrecks, people were hydroplaning. I was riding down La Cienega, and then I get off at Slauson, and you have to go up. It's like a off ramp. You go up a hill kind of to get to the light at Slauson, and then I make that left. Then you have to go up a hill again to get towards like La Brea, Fairfax, Overhill, and then you go down a hill to get to Crenshaw from on Slauson. So that was an issue, just getting up those hills and going down the hills, because people here drive, one, they drive too fast, and two, when they drive too fast, they also I guess they forget to turn their signals on or whatever, and they like to drive fast in the right lane, not realizing the roads are built a certain way so that the water will drain away from the middle of the street. So the water collects on the right lanes, and when you're driving fast in the right lane, you have a higher chance of hydroplaning. So it was a lot of people slipping and sliding, and it was just really bad. But anyway, the story goes on to say the rain fell at more than 1.5 inches per hour at one point early Tuesday in parts of Southern California. About a ½ inch per hour is enough to start mudslides, said Robbie Monroe at the National Weather Service in Oxnard. The downpour fell in areas charred by recent wildfires, which burned vegetation that otherwise could make the terrain more resistant to mudslides. The Thomas Fire, the largest wildfire in California's recorded history, has burned more than 281,000 acres in Santa Barbara and Ventura counties since it began in early December. It was 96% contained, and officials don't expect full containment until later this month. So here's another video I'm going to show. I think this is in Santa Barbara as well. can see the mud on the side, going down the side. And the mud is going out to the ocean. The water is running off the side of, I think this is 101. And that mud is running down the side. And to the right of the screen, you can see the mountains, because this runs off the side of the mountains and everything. And you can see the is running out to the flat area. The flat area, the bottom right of the screen, is running to the Pacific, right out to the ocean. Butterfly Beach. So okay, so this is a tweet Benjamin Hyatt made at Caffeine Ben. This in front of the at FS Santa Barbara above hashtag Butterfly Beach. Debris from our neighborhood, no doubt. So he lives at Butterfly Beach. Montecito and Carpinteria are especially vulnerable to mudslides because the steep terrain in some places goes from thousands of feet above sea level to sea level in a matter of just a few miles, said Tom Favram, a deputy public works director with Santa Barbara County. That's definitely at play here. It's just a mess, he said. Mudslides are not uncommon to the area and can be deadly. In January 2005, a landslide struck La Conchita in Ventura County, killing 10 people. And then this just shows who contributed to the report: Darren Simon, Stella Chan, Paul P. Murphy, Jason Kraverick, and Judson Jones. I'm going to see if there are any comments at the bottom. Okay, there aren't any comments. So let me just go back up to the top. Okay, so back to the top. Yeah, so it's very devastating, you guys. We're still trying, people are still trying to recover from this. It's going to be a while before they recover, maybe on into the weekend and maybe even into next week, because people are, probably have lost their homes. People have clearly lost their lives. There may be more people that are injured. Pray for these people, pray for the victims and their families and friends. If people are missing, please reach out to local authorities. If you or someone that you know is involved with this and needs help, please reach out and find help. Don't try to do it yourself, because you can become overwhelmed by the water, and by the fact that we don't get that much water here. If you are questioning whether you should drive down a road that looks like there's mud and water and it's flooding, don't go down the road. If it's getting dark here, it gets dark. Remember, around 5 p.m. it's black. It's dark here. So if it's gonna take you 2 hours to get somewhere, or an hour to get somewhere, and it's gonna get dark soon, then don't take that chance, or don't go by yourself. If you're gonna go somewhere, try to go in a group of people so that you won't be stuck out there by yourself and get overwhelmed. Because you get overwhelmed, you get stressed, that's when you can make mistakes. So just be aware, be cautious of your surroundings, be aware of your surroundings. Know if you're living in an area where there are potential mudslides and rock slides as well, because rock slides are sometimes worse than mudslides. And be aware, of course, if you have children, be careful. Keep water and emergency kits in your vehicles. Water, first aid kit, blankets, flashlights, batteries, a two-way radio so you can call if you lose service. Like they said, power lines were down, so you could easily lose service. You could lose service for other reasons as well. If it's raining in certain areas, I was losing service, calling my mom, and she's in South Carolina. I was losing service, and it was just raining, but it was because the towers were blocked at that time. And we lost power at my job yesterday for a few hours, from like I think it was like 2 a.m. to about 8 a.m. We lost power. Starbucks down the street. It was Robertson and Beverly. It was a few businesses on Robertson at Beverly, between Beverly and Wilshire, that didn't have power yesterday morning. It was I got to work around, let's see, almost 8. This was early, like 6:30, 7 in the morning. They didn't have power. So please be careful. Please share the video and let people know what's going on out here. If they have loved ones out here or friends and family, please share the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys soon.